You know what I realized, Eamon?
What did you realize, man?
We, like, F for Flippy, we've mentioned him before, but we've never really told them, like, what he's done, or, like, what he's done to us.
That monster.
Do you think should we tell them?
I don't know. It's a dark story, Grant.
That it is, that it is.
Sad story.
Okay, where are you? We must tell them. It's okay. I hate that noise so much. It's okay. Let's start with you.
When I was a lad, I lived in a cottage in the mountains. Every day I would hunt for a dinner and come back to our home. The cottage was small, but I didn't mind. It was a nice home. I lived with my father, who worked the fields. He would always greet me when I came home from a long day of hunting. Ever since my mother died, I had lived with my father. He raised me well. But when night fell, he came. It was F for Flippy. He approached like a shadow from the woods. He broke into our house silently and took my father. The next day, I awoke to find an empty bed, no note or anything. I set off on search for my father. I traveled down our path, searching everywhere for him. Before long, I entered the desert, a vast stretch of sand with no food or water. I quickly became lost. I had no idea which way was north or south. I only walked forwards. I went over many dunes, but they all just looked the same. When I was ready to give up hope, a man came. A man in a white robe coming towards me. He was kind and gave me water. He then brought me to his village. A nice little town, but its main attraction was the temple. The temple was a large training area. The man told me what he really was, a ninja. And that is when I began my training. I vowed to become a ninja and track down F for Flippy. At first I wasn't very good, and my master disapproved. But I eventually got better and better until I could do all the challenges with ease. But then it was time for my final challenge, a series of jumps over a huge pit. If I make it, I become a ninja. If I fall, I die. I began it, carefully jumping from post to post. I almost fell several times. But I made it to the final stretch, and I took the last jump to the ladder. It was now time for me to take the leap of faith, and with that, I was done. The next night, it was time for my ceremony. I climbed the staircase. The climb felt like hours. I took each step slowly. At the top was my master. I stood before him, then kneeled. I officially became a ninja.
Wow, that was a great story.
I know. That was a story, man.
So, and then
Anyway, I know.
later, that's when we met.
Yeah?
Maybe
that
someday
story
I'll
will be
tell my
next.
story.
Maybe that story will be next.
Someday.
Someday.
Well, goodbye.
Now you know about F for Flippy.
Yep. Partly.
Thanks. Oh. Thanks for tuning in.
You know what he's done.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to
This was an Age broadcast brought to you by.